Alright everybody, so today we did go ahead and actually get Master King's Fall inside of Destiny 2. And I kind of just want to make this quick video just to highlight mostly which champions have been added into the raid. And let's begin. So I don't have footage for the actual opening encounter, but the normal taking phalanxes, those are actually going to be unstoppable. Just, be on the lookout for that. One thing I do want to note is that there are going to be quite the amount of void shielded acolytes throughout the entire raid, especially on taken phases of things like the Warpriest. Just be on the lookout for that. Heading into the actual Totem encounter, the only other champion that they added, thank god they did not make the brand claimer knights anti-barrier or anything crazy. They basically just added a unstoppable ogre on each side, the taken and high side, as well as keeping the one in the middle. So just literally just have your unstoppable shotgun, pulse rifle, solar melee at the ready. Then heading into Warpriest, the big thing for Warpriest is that the yellow bar knights that you would kill to actually start the glyph reading sequence, those guys are going to start off as anti-barrier, and then whenever you actually get to the taken phase of the fight, they're actually going to become overload minotaurs. Okay, be careful of that when you get to the taken phase. Make sure you guys have some people on overload. We only had 2 people with overload bow, and it made things a little bit tricky. If you have an arbalist and a bow, you will be good to go. Other than that, there's no changes to the brand claimer knights. Once again, they stay the same. They're just going to be a little bit tankier because you're on master, and there are also no unstoppable champions. Just make sure you have anti-barrier for the hive knights, and then make sure you have overload for the taken minotaurs. Moving on to Golgoroth, he probably is the most one that stays the normal. It's what everybody thought it was. The boomer knights on those little ledges are now going to be anti-barriers. Also, having some void shields would be pretty nice. And then during damage, nothing crazy changes. Just do the mechanics as normal and you'll be good to go. Moving on to the daughters encounter, pretty much what we all thought it was. The knights that start which plate you got to stand on, those are anti-barrier. Who would have thunk it? Most people I know, including myself, generally run an arbalist for this encounter anyway, so this really doesn't change hardly anything, making this encounter very free and easy still. Oryx's encounter is a little bit different, so I will say right off the rip, the light eater ogres, they're not unstoppable. They're normal ogres. But the actual taken knights that all spawn on all 4 of the platforms, those are not anti-barrier, but they are actually overload minotaurs. So yeah, make sure you have on your overload bow. Most of us just had on the monarch. And then the light eater knights, they don't change at all, except for the fact that they have an Oryx shield. Considering that there's match game and these guys are fairly important to deal with fast in a timely manner, it definitely doesn't hurt to have some people on arbalist and or some form of an arc weapon, so you can at least take off those light eater shields, because I'm telling you, with match game being on master mode, it could definitely be a bit of a pain in the butt not being able to take those shields off and actually do proper damage to them, and we don't want those light eaters to go be eating up our goddamn corrupted light. Other than that, there's no major changes to Oryx's encounter. Just make sure you have some form of an overload champion mod, and as well as some way to rip off the arc shields off of the light eater knights. Also keep in mind that Master King's Fall does sit at 1600. I was sitting in here about 1588, and outside of the champions, it was pretty lax. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on Master King's Fall down in the comments below. Subscribe for more content.